Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the A Alpha podcast. Today, we have truly exceptional guest joining us, a leader whose background spanned from serving as a captain in the Israel Navy SEALs to become a powerhouse in venture capital world. Please welcome Doron York, the chairman and CEO of Cityside Ventures and the founder and chief investment officer of Birmingham Angels. Known through the ecosystem as the maestro of growth capital, Doron brings over 25 years of high impact executive coaching experience, having successfully worked with more than 250 startups worldwide. Cityside Venture is the pioneering new standard of developing early stage capital driven by a simple but powerful operational model. Accountability plus discipline plus actions equal performance. He is famously known for his investment thesis of investing in drivers, not in cars, meaning he focused heavily on founders' grit and velocity rather than just the business vehicle itself. Today, he's laser focused on founding a scalable tech and AI to turn Michigan into powerhouse startup ecosystem. Doron, it is an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So before I jump into any of those, you have a remarkable career. You started in captain in the Navy SEALs in Israel, and over 25 years executive coaching and multiple founder journeys, and now chairman and CEO of Cityside Ventures. Walk us through your journey.
Well, it's funny. Somebody asked me yesterday the same question. I think coming from my culture, from my country, which live in a different context than most countries in the world, I knew very early in my career that I'm going to be the worst employee for anybody to have, because I can't follow the line. I can't accept things just because somebody says so. Um, you know, uh, you know, arguing, it's a national sport in Israel, but it's not a bad thing in a culture. That's what makes the country so great. Is just people argue everything, and out of this argument, stuff comes out, and breakthroughs happen out of disagreements and debates and so forth. So um, early in my life, I decided I'm not going to work for anybody besides my wife, of course, um, which we married for 40 years this year. Um, so I started my journey on my own ventures, starting 3 tech companies in the early 90s, with just the beginning of the tech boom, the beginning of the internet, the birth of the internet. So I've been around tech at least 4 or 5 evolutions already, from the internet to the personal computers to the cloud to blockchain, now AI.
Yeah.
So I've been around, see the impact of technology in life, and I was always fascinated with technology. There was always something that I had some knack to, and applying all the discipline that I learned from growing up in my house and the service. I don't think business is different in many ways. You have to have discipline. You have to have accountability to what you do, and then you need to take actions. I mean, things don't happen in a vacuum. So
Yeah, absolutely. And congrats for your 40 years of marriage. That's incredible.
that's the biggest accomplishment.
That's the biggest accomplishment. I can vouch. I'm like nearly maybe 15 years. That's incredible. I have
Yeah,
3 boys, so that's one of the wonderful achievement.
I have 2 kids, but you know what they say? My grandma used to say that the first 20 years of marriage, you're looking to find all the faults and the shortcomings of your spouse, and then after 40 years of marriage, all those faults become endearing qualities.
That is great. I'm yet to be there. I'm yet to be there. Yeah. So it is incredible that you said the culture and the argument. I think it is more positive. Reinforcement argument can bring you more value and bring more ideas. You runs the venture firms and the angel investment firms that specifically focus on bringing that Michigan ecosystem. What's your thought on that? I've seen many investment come into Michigan. I think Google announced they are building AI data center in Michigan. How you think that ecosystem growing in Michigan?
Well, I'm going to say a few things. I mean, some people may not like my answer, but that's my take on it. I'm been in Michigan for almost 40 years. So, been around 3 or 4 different cycles with the state of Michigan, uh, 3 different crises, economy crisis. I think there's a lot of innovation in the state of Michigan. There's a lot of resources in the state of Michigan, especially for hard tech companies. Michigan is a place to be. Um, there's a lot of good universities in Michigan producing a lot of talent, but it's a Midwest. What does it mean? The Midwest, in general, it's very conservative when it's come to capital. It's not New York. It's not Silicon Valley. It's not Chicago. It's not Florida, Miami. It's very conservative. It's most of the money is what they call in Michigan old money. It's family businesses starting an automotive business, had like a big automotive supply companies, and they made the money the hard way, like working for it, like
Mhm.
with the hands, so to speak. So they
Yeah,
they made the money, and they're very conservative in deploying capital. So the ecosystem here is suffering for a long time and still is. There's not enough early stage capital flowing to the ecosystem. There is later stage VC, there's a little stage money. The state tried to put some money, economic development money to help. But until we can increase significantly the early stage private money, the ecosystem is going to keep floundering. And what happened is that, according to the state of Michigan, close to 40 to 50% of the company that's starting in Michigan end up leaving the state because they can't find the early stage money here. And if they leave the state, they don't come back. Uh, so, although inspiring to see the ecosystem here very flourishing from a lot of innovation, but it's not even on a map how much early stage capital we need to deploy compared to what we actually do. The impact of AI on businesses in general and tech business specifically is that company will require to raise less capital to deploy their tech than in 5 or 6 or 10 years ago. What it means, in a short, that what used to be Series A, now it's a zero. And the
yeah,
VCs that banking on this holy grail of SaaS models and all that, gold mines, uh, uh, lost right now because they don't know what to do with it, and they are not accustomed to invest in early stage. So there's a gap. So
yeah.
technically, the angels need to step up to the plate a little bit higher, and the VC need to learn to work in the small. And remember that just to make a distinction between angel investors and a VC, angel investors are business builders. They are the business owners, the business builders, the people that spend 40 years in business. The VCs are financials guys, MBAs.
Yeah.
Some of them never build a business in their life. So it's a different dynamic completely. And I think on the long run, if the Angels going to realize that they need to step up to the plate, they will dominate that market, and the VC will
Early
have a tough time.
stage. Yeah, absolutely. Because they have the know-how. They know how to make the 0 to 1 business. Yeah, that is interesting. And I like your thesis on invest in the driver, not in the cars. I recently watched. I'm not a any form of Formula One fan, but I watched Formula One movie.
Right.
That was interesting. They have the most advanced cars, but you have to have the right driver to drive it. Tell me, like when you see these founders, how you evaluate the founder to see his qualities, and he's the person who can bring values.
That's we say in a venture investment there is the art and the science of venture investor. Picking up the driver, it's the art, it's not the science. Because
Mhm.
I say that most venture investments it's about human calculation, not financial calculation. And why is that? Because um, I technically took the Navy SEAL selection book and turned it into selecting the founders. How do you select people to flight school or to Navy SEAL training based on certain characteristic? And I completely made a direct correlation between a Navy SEAL and the founder of a startup company. It's required the same qualities and the same type of attributes. And what the founder don't realize when they talk to investors, they pitch to investors, that I watch between the lines. I watch the thing that um, the unseen, so to speak, um, and um, and then we kind of match our experience with the founder to those particular. We have a set of attributes and personality attributes and certain business orientation that we kind of match to it. Um, and and we say we bet on the founder because, like, Formula One Drive to Survive, which I watch religiously. Um, uh, all the team managers say the same thing. I can have the best car, the best engine, the best crew, but if I don't have the right driver, I'm not going to win races. So I don't want to, as an investor, I don't want to end up in a parking lot full of cars. I want to, I want to have a room full of drivers. You crash your car, we'll put you in a different car, but you need to have the characteristics of the driver. So it's a lot of human calculations, and then in the early stage investment in general, there's no history. You're betting on the future. So you can't go back to see what you did in the last 4 or 5 years because there's no history. You're just starting. So you have to bet on a driver. So the question, they have the characteristic and the attributes that we're looking for. So the moment the founder said, "Hey, my name is Doron and I'm looking for capital," I watch everything they do from that point about in the interaction with me. And very quickly, Italians, for example, they have what they call break the bread. They they first meeting, let's do it over dinner. Why? It's not about the food. You can learn so much from watching somebody eat and their personality. So
Yeah.
back, they watch you. They watch how you eat, how you slice the food, how you organize the plates. I mean, it's say a lot. So we watch everything the founders do from that point on. Are they do what they said they're going to do? Are they being on time? Are they communicating right? Are they give you the information you requested? Did they hear what you're saying? I mean, all of those things. It's like almost like an on flight kind of assessment on the founders, and then we do what we call situational interview as they do in the sales. You throw some situation in the founder and see how they respond to it. What are you going to do if that or things of that nature? But for the most part, are they representing themselves well? Are they presenting themselves well? Are they professional? They have the work ethics. Are they clear in communication when they say something? You understand what they're saying. Um, that they respect other people in interaction. All of those things are indication of somebody that either is successful or will be successful. Now, it, it's not zero sum game. I mean, we make mistakes sometimes, right? But if we're right 80% of the time, that's a good
Yeah. That's a powerful thing. Like, um,
thing.
myself, I quit my job last Friday was my last day. I'm going through the founder journey. This is really golden for me to learn something like that. Thank you. So let's go back. Like, Cityside Venture focus heavily on scalable tech, including artificial intelligence and SaaS. So walk us through. I mean, you said you've been in multiple cycles of tech from personal computers to web to blockchain and now AI.
Right.
How do you see the industry evolve with this AI revolution? It is seems like totally, like you said previously, if you want to build a startup, you might need a lot of money, but it actually bring down a lot. Simply, if two or three people can build a good tech startup with all these LLM and coding system available. How do you think this reshape the entire industry? How it reshape the investment model?
Well, I just want to say something, the preface before I say what I mean. This is my opinion. I think there's a lot of opinions in the market. I think we all right and we all wrong because we don't know where it's going to go. But a couple things that we learned from the journey. Um, the blockchain evolution and everything that happened before that, it was stepstones. I think AI here to stay. This is not uh, a revolution. This is an evolution. So uh, that's here to stay. So the point is that, the SaaS model, which was used to be the holy grail of venture investing, it's dead. We need to tell the truth. It's dead. SaaS model is not going to work anymore. You can build a business based on, I have 1,000 users to pay me $20 a month, and that's my business model. It's not going to work. I see my wife even today. We had remodeling the house, and we had an old wine cooler that we need to get rid of. She took a picture, put it in ChatGPT, and they tell, hey, it's out for $200. Do you want me to list it for you? Yes. Boom, list it. So the need to pay for specific SaaS model licenses or thing, it's gone. I mean, people, especially young people, they will not do it. So what is the business model? And we don't have the answer for that. Now, the CEO of Microsoft was in the conference a month ago, that said that until the enterprise level, the big company going to make AI core business, it's not, AI is not going to implement it as fast as people think it would. And then don't forget that for running in AI models, you need supercomputers, you need quantum computers, and then we're dealing with another issue, which is the data centers that's building them
Power.
all over the place. They're begging towns and cities to allow it to be, because it sucks energy like crazy. So we need to solve that problem. I think, and then there's a conspiracy theory. There's the people that says it's the end of humanity and all this stuff. I don't think so. I think eventually it's gonna exist alongside humanity. It's gonna be something in the background that everybody uses, but nobody knows that they do. So there's two verticals that we're interested in: vertical AI, which means enterprise. You're solving a particular problem, the particular industry, and it's sticky. So if you solve the problem, it's going to be there. They're going to use it. I don't know if SaaS is the right model for that, or licensing. We're not sure yet. We're not interested in utility, because utility, the people are going to dominate the utility AI is going to be Google, Microsoft, Oracle, big tech. I mean, Google adding more and more AI to your G Suite every day. So they will corner the utility market. You don't have to, there's no company going to be able to go against them in the utility space. Salesforce is going to be a utility on the sales side. Microsoft going to be on the productivity side, whatever. Zoom, whatever. So all those utilities are like mushroom. They come and go after the rain. They have no sustainability. You can't invest in it because it's not going to sustain. Infrastructure, which is open AI and Claude and all this stuff, we too late to the game. They're already attracting mess. I mean, you see what Jeff Bezos is doing. He announced that he's raising $100 billion to purchase manufacturing and modernize them with AI. So, so we lost that battle. I mean, unless you have $100 billion, you can't be in that space. So vertical AI is what we're looking for. We get pitched probably 20 AI companies every week, but on utility space, and now there's a big, massive amount of mushrooms in the AI space. All the companies are creating AI agents and AI. There's no point to invest in those things, because Google's releasing their own, creating your own agent, your personal agents in the Google in G Suite, and they're basically going to kill every other company in the world. So I don't think so. In my opinion, be very selective in investing in AI directly. Although there are some companies that are maybe older technology that now they find a way to make it much better and faster with AI on top of it, which should be interesting, because the big company are not going to throw their capital expense in investment in technology so on the window. They would prefer to put something on top of it, make it work better before they get rid of it. And enterprise going to wait 10 years until AI become. There's one thing that everybody forgets. The internet become the internet. It used to be the World Wide Web, and it's become the internet when the TCP/IP protocol got invented. So that they create the IP address, and everybody now have an IP address. It's become superhighway, right? The AI space don't have the protocol yet. Somebody somewhere will invent the AI protocol shortly. And soon as the protocol going to get invited, everything in is settled in a way that now it makes sense. There's a protocol.
Mm.
There's a way that you can actually audit it. There's a way that you can actually regulate it in many ways. So until that happens, nobody will trust it because in AI, as much as I do, AI is garbage in, garbage out. What's the false negative in AI? I mean, he lies a lot. He give you a lot of wrong information. So, what do you trust it? Not yet. Um, so, people think it's moving fast, but it will not move faster until the the enterprise level can start implementing it as a core business. Uh, Now, I may right, I may be wrong, but we see a lot of the vertical AI company that really doing well, but all the utility market, it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. Yeah, I think definitely, like you said, Google, Microsoft, they're releasing pretty fast. I've seen Google release a Stitch that is totally a design-oriented thing. The Figma is gone. I've seen Figma is
Right.
losing the market share. It's just they release it. Like you said, yeah, it is interesting, and the data, big companies definitely they protect data and they don't want to have any AI other than chatbot for now, just because they don't want to interrupt their existing uh, flows. Like you said, they might put something horizontally on top that definitely not throughout the entire system. Yeah. So that's a good point. I want to ask when you like think that is all on the software sides, but how do you think about the hardware AI implementation? And there's a lot of humanoid robots come in, and I was listening Jensen's NVIDIA keynote. He's very futuristic about the robotics on AI, right? AI side. What do you think on that?
Well, what they call a physical AI, which that's the next market that going to boom. The only problem with physical AI is that it's a trust factor. So uh, the war in the Middle East right now, it's actually a very frugal test ground to physical AI. Out of this conflict is going to be a lot of real time research and trial and error, things like that. This is the next phase of AI is a physical AI. How do you marry AI with a physical product, um, which is a trust factor that would need to be overcome. Michigan is a big in hardware, and there's a lot of physical AI company like Michigan become a center for drone manufacturing in the U.S. The combination of AI and but the issue is again that it's processing power, it's the speed, and of course the energy level. So it will take a while. You know, people have a hard time to trust autonomous cars. Nonetheless, to trust autonomous car than running an AI. It's like there's a big trust factor with humanity. Now, the young people may feel differently than my generation, but I don't think it's there yet. I think we'll have to kind of take care of those three things. Create a protocol for AI. We'll have to take care of the pulse negative in AI, and we'll have to find a way to isolate the biases in AI. Until that's going to happen, it's hard to trust it because it's not, you know. But that's definitely the future. That's we're looking at more and more company and physical AI, because that's where it's going to be implemented in
It's
most
gonna be.
manufacturing, robotic, cars, transportation, aerial transportation. Yes.
Yeah. So when you think the way that private capital firms like venture capitals and the angel investment, maybe private equity, how their industry change, how they use AI to maybe have a better deal sourcing or have to find out some good due diligence, or how your industry changed based on the AI.
Well, for example, one of the area that we're using AI pretty heavily right now is on the due diligence side. So we develop our own platform that with some tasks and prompts that we're running in a company, and then it helps us to create the investor memo and kind of do level 1, level 2, level 3 due diligence on a company, which it used to take us 3 weeks to do it. Now we can do it in 3 hours. So that's an advantage. Instead of deal sourcing and all of that, yes, but that's never been the issue for us as a deal flow. I mean, we're getting 50 or 60 incoming requests every week.
Income metric.
So startups is not, the deal flow is not a problem. And yes, we have created an automated deal flow that now we are looking how to implement AI. So when a company apply, it takes you to the process automatically and communicate with the startups and send messages and ask for information, all that. So yes, we'll eventually gonna have it by the end of the year, but that's the least of my concern. The due diligence is a big,
Mhm.
it's a big difference maker because, like I said, it took us 3 weeks with 5 interns from University of Michigan to do a due diligence on a company. Now they do it in 3 hours, and then summarize it and put it nicely and all of that.
Yeah.
Um, um, there is there is still you remember you talk about angel investors in particularly, which they are an age group of around 50, 45 to 50. That's kind of the age of angel investors. Why? Because, it's people that either made it big time at that time in life or they sold their family business. We are in the middle of the greatest transfer of wealth of all time in the US, baby boomer to the next generation. Um, so the older you are, the less reliance you're going to be on technology. So they still do the old fashioned way. You're going to sit in front of the computer, do their own research. They don't trust what AI tell. I send an investor a due diligence report that we did, and he said, "I don't trust AI. I'm going to do my own research." So, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, right? But it's definitely we're looking for area to implement agents that, like for example, if you're a company and you apply in our system, between that until we decide that we want to see the pitch, we're going to have an agent interact with you and can take you through the
Mhm.
process, fill
Mhm.
the information. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Uh, we're going to have an agent that interact with you after we write the check, kind of following up with you every month and do the quarterly update with you and all that, so you can automate that process. Uh, the onboarding process. Hey, we're ready to write you the check, but we need to onboard you, and here's the process and onboarding process. An agent can do that. We
Yeah.
can have an agent that interact with the founder when they have questions and stuff before I pick up the phone. It's been, so we are looking for this heavily where we can short the process.
Absolutely. And one more question. You mentioned you've been getting to do the same job. Now AI is taking over. What do you think about the job market? Everyone is saying AI for especially for interns or maybe the early starters in the job career. It have an impact. What do you take on that?
I think is going to be an impact. I think, in my opinion, it's going to be less than people make it to be. I remember when the production line in automotive business went from, manual production to robotics, everybody said, "Oh, that's the end of the workforce." Not really. I mean, it's ultimately reduced the workforce about 20%. Uh, I think with AI, it's the same thing. I mean, yes, a lot of jobs going to get eliminated, but humanity always use the equilibrium. It's always you lose jobs here and creating a new market here. So in the end of the day, it's going to be an impact for sure. Is it going to be as severe as people make it to be? I don't think so.
Yeah, me too. I think it should make humans superhumans. It's not we replace it. To say many cycles that we had the job reduction, people always move to the next level of complexity. Yeah, John. I mean, thanks for joining. For a final thought, I want to ask you, what's your future vision? F- how do you see in the future AI?
I the one thing that I see in my closing my eyes and look in the future, and I think that every human can have a digital twin, and that digital twin is going to do everything, anything from asking him what the time and where do I find the product, and can you order me airline tickets or whatever it is. Everybody can have a digital twin, and that digital twin is going to do everything you ask him to do. So you're not going to search websites anymore. You're not going to go anywhere. Just
Mhm.
going to say, "Hey, Doron number two, I need to, I don't know, reserve Friday 12. I have a meeting and I need a restaurant for two people, and it's going to go out there and tell me, hey, you're going to go take a dial at 2 o'clock. The table is reserved. Or I need to schedule my car, maintenance, and then boom, it's going to do it for you. So that's how I see society in the future. Everybody can have a digital twin or an agent, whatever you want to call it, and that's how you're going to live your life. You're not going to. Instagram may exist just because for the visual effect that people wants to see stuff, but you're not gonna search anything anymore. You're not gonna
Mhm.
go to a website to look anymore. You can ask the digital twin. You will. Wix, the company that have the website platform, they're actually experimenting right now with creating a web page on the fly. So if I'm looking for shoes, women's shoes,
Oh,
5-inch heels, and the red colors, it's automatically going to display a web page for me with all of that, and when I click and go shop, whatever it takes me. So there's no more going to be a static website exist somewhere. It's just going to create a
uh,
uh, videos and all that stuff. So I think everybody can have a digital twin or a agent that can do everything for you, and you will just have to talk, to figure the phone and talk and say, "Hey, I'm hungry." And say, "Here's my option. What do you want me to do? I order from here. Yeah, please do. Should I use
yeah,
American Express? Yeah, use an American Express." I mean, it's like,
definitely. And I think the new interface will be voice to text. The keyboard, everything might be vanished in few years. Yeah, I truly believe because my 10-year-old one is always talking to AI, Gemini, Siri. He likes that communication better than typing things. I think that's gonna happen. Ron, I think it's an incredible to talk to you and get all this wisdom about the investing, about the founders, and your vision and your future, how it looks like. So, thanks for your time. This is an incredible conversation. Do you have any final thought for our audience?
I just think that people need to open their eyes and the ears and kind of follow what's the developments are. People need to be cautious not to trust AI explicitly at this point in life. If anything smelled to you not right, assume it's not right and check it again. Don't get medical advice from an AI or anything that could put you at risk. But it's here and it's here to stay. So just adopt it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Doron. Thanks a lot.